When the Trinaxis Accord was signed aboard the shattered remains of the neutral station Kethra Prime, everyone believed the war was over. The decade-long conflict between the coalition of ordered species and the Scourge worlds had consumed billions of lives across half the Orion Arm. Entire planets burned, civilizations crumbled, and the last human battle group, the infamous 7th Terran Legion, was presumed destroyed in the Battle of Vordax Maw. But legends have a way of crawling back from the void. I first heard the rumors from a half-blind Coran freighter captain, half-drunk on fermented Cthul sap in a smoky outpost bar. "Sector Delta 17, he slurred, leaning over the counter. "Saw it myself. Metal tearing open, fire everywhere, and out comes a damn Terran dropship. Human colors, old Earth sigil, just floated there like a ghost." Everyone laughed him off. Even I did, and I was human. "My name's Lieutenant Sarah Voss. I served as a communications officer for the Coalition's diplomatic arm, assigned to oversee reconstruction efforts in the Nithis cluster after the treaty. But that drunken story stuck in my brain like a splinter. 3 weeks later I was reassigned. Officially, the Coalition called it a recon mission to investigate residual Scourge signals near the shattered moons of Taraxis 4. Unofficially, they didn't tell me a damn thing. But when I boarded the stealth cruiser Nalther's Grace, there were no diplomats, just soldiers. And one man, broad-shouldered, shaved head, worn military fatigues with faded Terran Legion patches. A scar crossed his right eye, and his stare could melt steel. "Commander Elias Ward," he said, offering a hand. "Welcome to the end of the war." I didn't understand then. Barely do now. Ward was the last commanding officer of the 7th Terran Legion, thought dead for 7 years. His battle group had survived Vordax Maw by retreating into the collapsed space corridors of the Deimos Rift, a suicide maneuver. Everyone assumed they'd been obliterated or lost in time dilation. They weren't. "We hid," Ward explained in the ship's command room. "Rebuilt what we could." Observed. The Coalition thought it had won. The Scourge thought they could regroup in the shadows. Both wrong. He tapped a hollow projection, revealing a map of the sector. Red pulses, Scourge remnants, clustered in an asteroid field near Taraxis IV's shattered moons. Hundreds of vessels. Enough for a resurgence. Ward's voice dropped. "They're breeding." The room went silent. I felt my stomach turn. The Scourge weren't a species, they were a hive. Genetically engineered bioforms that assimilated DNA and grew exponentially. The war had ended not because we'd destroyed them, but because we'd killed enough of their queens. Without leadership, the hives fractured. But if they had a new queen, "They've gone quiet," Ward said. "Building, preparing. The Coalition's peace has made them complacent. But I have a plan." The plan was madness. Infiltration. Habitat. A single strike to eliminate the Queen before she could reach maturity. "You'll be our voice," Ward told me. "We need someone the Coalition still trusts. Someone to warn them after we light the fire." Protested. I wasn't a soldier. I didn't belong in the field. But he didn't flinch. "No one else has your clearance," he said. "And no one else here speaks 12 Coalition languages." He had me there. We dropped into Taraxis IV's orbit under silent running, avoiding Scourge scanners. Ward's team, only 37 surviving Terran soldiers, geared up like ghosts of war. Their armor bore the marks of 100 battles. Their rifles had been rebuilt from scrap and scavenged parts. But their eyes burned with purpose. I followed them down in a dark dropship, landing inside a fractured moonlet hollowed out by Scourge tunnels. The Queen's nest was deep inside. We moved through bioorganic corridors pulsing with life, Pale walls slick with mucous membranes, glowing sacks of embryonic horrors twitching in fluid. "This is worse than any battlefield I've seen," I whispered. Ward glanced at me. "That's why we finish it here." The queen was nearly complete. 10 meters tall. Bone spines protruding from her back. Her maw split open like a flower of teeth. Dozens of drones buzzed around her like hornets. We had one chance. Ward planted a fusion core beneath the queen's birthing pit. We started the countdown. That's when the drones noticed. Chaos erupted. Gunfire tore the corridor apart. Acidic blood sprayed in all directions. Ward's soldiers moved with lethal precision, covering each other, yelling commands over static. I ducked behind cover, trying not to scream. Ward dragged me to my feet. "Go. Get to the relay point." "But the detonation." "I'll handle it. Just tell the galaxy what happened." He shoved a data core into my hand. It pulsed with every piece of intel they'd gathered. Then he turned, grabbed a fallen drone's acid rifle, and charged back into the fray. Ran. When the moonlet exploded, it lit up the dark side of Taraxis 4 like a newborn star. The shockwave disabled our stealth cruiser. Rescue came 12 hours later, a coalition patrol ship that had intercepted my distress beacon. They didn't believe my story first, but when they decrypted Ward's data core, everything changed. The Scourge weren't just regrouping, they had spread. 5 more hives, 2 already maturing. Ward's strike had delayed them. But the war wasn't over. I stood before the Coalition High Command on Concordia Prime and told them the truth. "We celebrated too soon," I said. "We mistook silence for peace." But a Terran Legion commander showed us the truth. Humanity didn't disappear, they prepared. And now they're giving us one last chance. Ward's strike galvanized the coalition. Treaties were rewritten. Old grudges set aside. The humans, once considered too aggressive, too independent, were welcomed back into the command ranks. Recalled from exile, Earth's remaining forces regrouped. A new initiative began. Operation Emberlight. The Scourge wouldn't get another chance to rise. I last saw Elias Ward in a recovered transmission, dated 2 minutes before the explosion. Blood smeared across his face. Half his armor missing. He was smiling. "To anyone hearing this," he said, "remember, we're not dead until we're forgotten. The Legion stands." The screen cut to static. Epilogue. 6 months later, I stood on the deck of the Coalition Dreadnought Unity's Flame, watching Taraxis 4 drift past in pieces. Operation Emberlight was underway. For the first time in years, Coalition fleets flew under the joint command of a human. Not just any human. Me. Ward gave his life so others could learn the truth. Now it was my duty to ensure that truth lit the galaxy like fire. Because the war was never truly over. But thanks to a human, it just might end the right way.